So good morning and welcome back to this course on entrepreneurship and business model canvas. So today we're going to see the topic from Unified Tools for Entrepreneurship, and the concept today is business storytelling. Now, business storytelling, before we introduce the concept, so everybody knows what is the concept of a story, and we still remember the stories which we have seen in childhood days, that which is actually still very, very fresh in our memory. So, stories always evoke a lot of emotions in us, a lot of good memories in us, and story is all which everyone knows. And it's not a concept where it's not a one more again one more buzzword, but it's definitely a very very critical concept, business storytelling. And so essentially, if we talk about a story, it expresses how and why life changes, and concept of inciting incidents, and one that throws the lives out of balance. The stories have been implanted in you thousands of times since your mother took you on her knee, and human beings always remember stories, and rest of them we actually really forget. So we still remember a lot of stories which has been told from the childhood. Those we listened as kids in our schools, and we still remember the days and where our grandfather and our grandmother actually told us a lot of stories, bedtime stories. So that is the power of actually the stories. So human being is definitely going to store a lot of very very interesting information only, and stories is definitely way up in this category. And the stories actually really can capture imaginations. That is why they are actually stored in our brains, and they actually we can still remember them, and they arouse our passion. Some of the stories really are very very strong and very motivating, and they really arouse our passions, and they always inspire us in ways that cold hard facts can't, because when you talk about a presentation, when you talk about investment presentation, yes, definitely cold hard facts are very very important, but yes, beyond a point that actually they are not going to actually inspire the investor, and there you definitely going to have a lot of stories which is coming in. So business storytelling is actually telling business stories to communicate and connect with employees, with customers, with colleagues, and with suppliers and partners, as well as the media. And the concept of business storytelling is, when we use a business storytelling, we have to be using the concept of persuasion. So persuasion is nothing but the ability to influence. The keyword is influence. We are not going to actually force them or make them compulsory, but it is going to be ability to influence other people's thoughts and opinions using convincing arguments and facts. So it's a very, very important thing which I'm going to repeat again. So it's ability to influence other people's thoughts and opinions, and using convincing arguments and facts. So it is not using some fictitious arguments or some wrong raw data or very not facts, improper facts, but convincing arguments and facts to convincing customers, employees, and colleagues, also investors and partners. And the concept of persuasion works in two ways. One is the conventional way, the intellectual way, and where we have a lot of figures and facts and figures and PPTs, charts and graphs. And the next way, conventional way is definitely not good enough. It only takes you to a point and beyond which it is not definitely very effective. And the other way is actually by telling a very compelling story, uniting an idea with an emotion. So this is very, very important. So here in the business storytelling, the alternative is you're going to tell a compelling story and uniting that idea. That story is a business story, but there you're going to unite that idea with emotions. So that is the crucial part here. So how to tell a persuasive business story is a good story is like a recipe. Certain ingredients need to be part of the mix to make it a great success. Just like any food, which is going to great food, which is actually very, very tasty. So there's a lot of ingredients actually to be there. So that is like good story is also like the same. The three element is context, action, and results. CAR. And context is where and when does the story take place, who's the main character, what does he or she want, and who are and what is in the why or what is in this way. How to tell a business persuasive story. Action. Next step is action. Setbacks. You talk about conflicts. You can talk about battles, failures, and problems. And the result is always finally the result. You should always have the result model of the story and what do you want to tell the stakeholder. So thank you very much for this session and look forward to you to meeting in the next session. So in the meanwhile, if you have any doubts and clarifications, you can come back to, you can actually really ask now. And thank you very much for the session and have a good day.